Hello, I'm Chris Frederick, better known as Chubby. I'm here today to talk to you about the economic forecast for 2018 and into 2020. My passions are fishing, muscle cars, and helping you grow. And in order to do that, we hired a company called ITR Economics. And their job, and Alan Ballou's job as economist, is to try to predict what's going to happen in the general economy. I've been following them for about 15 years, and about 5 years ago I hired them to do just the automotive repair and maintenance side of the industry and do predictions on that. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. The terminology and the methodology is a little bit different and maybe foreign to some of you, so I'll talk to you a little bit about it as you look at it on the screen. The first stage of the business cycle is actually recovery, where you're recovering from a recession. We call that A. And then you move into accelerating growth, or phase B, and then you move on into slowing growth, phase C, and then down into phase D, which ends up ultimately being recession. So, where are we right now? Well, right now we are in phase B. We've been accelerating growth, which is really a good thing. You know, the automotive industry in general has had some challenges from the '08 recession in slowing down cars coming out of warranty, which has affected car count in many shops across North America. And one of the things to remember is this is a prediction on the general economy as a whole. So you may be located in a region that's doing much better or much worse based on maybe big employers moving in or moving out. So keep that with a grain of salt as we talk about it. But at this particular point, if you look at the data trends in billions of dollars, you'll see that the industry is on a growth mode, even though it's not growing a whole lot. It has been actually pulling back. Right now, if you looked at 17, we were almost at a 3% growth rate, and 3.7 in 16, and it's beginning to slow down. If you look at the rates of change, our quarterly growth is predicted in the first quarter of 18 to be about 1.2%. But then we're actually planning for this thing to take off, and it's going to start going up. The Ballou brothers are thinking that the second half of 2018, the economy is going to slow down. And some industries are actually going to go into recession. Recessions basically is when they stop growing at all and actually go a bit negative. And not all industries are going to go into a recession status, but they're predicting later in 18 we're actually going to fall into a little bit of recession in some of the industries. And the economy is going to slow down. Now, what's that mean to us? Well, for all of you that have been doing this for any time at all, you know that if the general economy recesses, people buy less cars. And that's what we're predicting that's going to happen. When they buy less cars, they hold on to their old cars longer. So the good news is you're going to have more cars in the shop to work on, and more people are going to want to repair their cars. The bad news is, in some areas of North America, you're going to also find it may be difficult to keep the average RO at the size it is based on what's happening in the economy. It's not going to be a big recession like we saw in '08, but nonetheless, it's all about people's attitudes. So if they feel it's recessing, then even though they may not have been affected, they may be a little bit more difficult to sell maintenance to at the front counter. So keep that in mind, as we go through all this. So if you look at the rate of change, you'll see that we're predicting that this is really going to grow up. And your business is going to be doing really well between now and the end of the year. And then in 20, we're predicting that it'll start to slide back off. So if you look at the rate of change on the graph, you'll see what the Ballou brothers' prediction is for our industry. But right now, we're in accelerating growth. So what do we do when the growth is going to accelerate? Number one, you got to ensure quality control keeps pace, because all of a sudden, if you got more cars that are broke, more repairs, you could get weeded in the shop, and that could affect quality control. So things like hiring, training, retention, you're really going to need to stay focused on that, because as your business begins to increase and go up in revenue, you're going to have to work on maybe hiring more techs. or making sure that you don't lose any of the technicians that you have through retention. And then price escalators. It's always a good time when you're getting busier and more people are coming in, if you haven't had a price increase in a while, to start separating out your thought on how you're going to increase your prices gradually through 19, because you know you can't do it very fast. But if it's time for you to do it, you could take a year and be able to bring that out softly. And then maximizing your profit margins. It's a good time to do that. As people hold on to their cars, and also as you get into more repairs, you have the opportunity to actually help increase your margins. So overall, the forecast for the automotive repair and maintenance business looks good through 2018. The general economy, however, looks like it's actually going to slow down towards the end of 2018 and into 19. So that's it. You're sitting in the driver's seat. Looks like it's going to be a nice ride for at least 2018. Thank you.